So it took a little while, but I finally found a battery connector I like. I'm not a big fan of the QS8s, I said that before, just because they seem to be kind of inconsistent. You can get good ones or cheap ones, and I don't really like that. I've had a couple fail, and I like consistency, so I looked around a lot, and I found these RC Pro Plus. You can get these in solderless, which is what these are, and also solder type. And I have both. I'll show you this in a second, but first, I'll give you a rundown of the project, how it's been going. Chassis is pretty much complete. I just finished this top brace right here, and I made it in 3 pieces. So there's a bracket here, the brace, and then another bracket, as opposed to making this one piece. I just like that design better. I also had to remake the battery trays. I'll show you why. These are the batteries I'll be running, Gens Ace bashing. And before I bought these, I went on their website, got the dimensions, and I made the battery trays according to the dimensions on the website. But if you look, they don't quite fit. So I had to make them bigger this way, but I also made them a little bit deeper. And a couple other changes. I changed the chamfer width from 3/1000 to 5/1000. Just thought it looked a little bit better. And also because the battery box is taller this way, it increased the vertical separation of these mounting bolts. I think it kind of looks a little bit better, especially on the rear shock tower, because the rear shocks are longer, so the tower's up a little bit higher. So having it spaced out definitely looks a little better. And now these monster batteries fit in there nice. I still have to countersink these screw holes. I'll get around to doing that. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. So anyway, now I'll show you those RC Pro Plus connectors. They're really cool. Check them out. So these ones are the solderless, and those are the solder type. So I'll show you these ones first. These are really cool. These ones are 8mm and they're rated for 310 amps. So these are very easy to assemble. All you do is you take this piece, slide it over the wire, take this piece, put the wire inside there. One thing I did though was I stripped the wire back a little bit farther, and I kind of just folded some of the strands over just to make it a bigger diameter, because these are 8mm and they're for 6 or 8 gauge. But I noticed that this wire, even though it says 8 gauge, it was a little bit smaller than the 8 gauge that was on the speed control. So just by folding those strands over, made it so it fit a lot more snug. And then you have 2 screw holes, one on each side. And you got these little grub screws right here. And that's it, you just tighten down. That slides right in there. And then you can see right there, there's like a little window, and there's this piece. It has a tab on it, and that tab locks in right there, like that. And then you just take another one. I'm not gonna snap this all the way together just because it'll be kind of hard to get apart. You can take these apart, which is nice because they're easily reusable. And then there's this small piece that goes right here with 2 little screws. And these are rated for 310 amps. These ones are the solder type. These are 6mm. You can also get these in 8mm, but it's really easy. You have a little window right there. You just put your wire in, solder it. And then this piece slides in there like that. And then you have this piece right here. It has 3 screws. Goes right in there. It's really easy to assemble. And what's really nice about these things are machined so precisely. They got a little snap when you put them together. See that? And they come apart and go together very easily. Very precisely made. These ones do it too. See how they snap together? Very high quality. So I'll show you what I mean when I say I don't like the QS8s because they're inconsistent. So this right here is the Max 4 ESC that blew up. Take a look at this connector. See how there's a piece of it broken? That's a cheap QS8. I'm not saying all QS8s are bad. There's some really, really good ones on the market, like the Perfect Pass RC ones are awesome. But I don't know why I should just order those. But I was impatient and I found these ones on Amazon. So that's why I ordered those. But anyway, I just figured I'd show you a little different connector. Not everybody knows about these, so it's just something out there. That's another option. These things are really popular with the helicopter guys. That's how I found them. And you got to figure those guys are flying these really expensive helicopters and they don't want to crash those things and break them, so you know they're using top-notch equipment. So sometimes it's worth just looking into a different part of the hobby to find a solution. So now I'll get back to work on this thing. It's almost complete. I just got to get going on the axle housings, finish those. At first I was going to use the Losi DBXL gear set, but I decided not to, so I talked to a gear manufacturer who's going to make gears to my specs. I could make them, but the thing is I'm not an expert at that at all. In fact, I've never made gears before, so I'm just going to get them from a vendor who that's all they do is make gears, so that way I know this thing's going to be perfect. I really like the way this top brace came out. Take a closer look at that. I drew up a few different designs because this thing angles, because the back shock tower is higher. At first I had it so there was like a little angle right here, so it went level and came up. I just like the look of this better. I put a 5,000 chamfer on everything, even including the holes. I also drew up a design that had like triangles and honeycombs instead of circles, but I don't know, I just thought the circles looked the best. It's kind of simple. Okay, so that's it for now. Pretty soon this thing will be up and running, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. Take care and I'll see you next time. Bye.